And we're live.
Wasting no time.
That was good.
Kyle, fact or fiction? I have a mighty swell in my hand.
That's a fact. That's a stone cold fact.
It's true. Fact or fiction? It's a peach flavored mighty swell.
Oh,
Fiction.
You need to hear it open. It would help.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let
me
me
hear it open
yeah.
Okay, here it is.
No,
Sound like
not
peach to you?
No, that's not
Kyle.
peach.
That's not peach at all.
No, that's not peach. That's the
that's
the
mint.
black cherry.
That's mint.
It's peach. Damn.
It's peach.
All right, well, what am I drinking?
Oh, that's definitely it's cherry. Cherry lime.
Hold on, let me get a.
Ooh, that didn't sound like the slurp of a cherry lime.
That is definitely black. Is it blackberry?
Oh, Joe Marino.
Hey, what?
He nailed it.
Great job.
Quite honestly, the dumbest thing we've ever done. Right.
It's good content. Okay. What do you?
It's a low bar to set. Let's be honest.
That's true. Fair enough.
You guys excited to talk about some football related things?
I am very excited for Takes on Takes with all of our fine friends. Joining us on the live stream brought to you by Mighty Swell.
Did we all see the bad news about future Jet wide receiver legend Chris Olave?
What are you doing, Chris? I respect it. I respect every player's choice to make whatever decision they feel is best for them. But with that said,
can't be a future
Chris, you broke my heart. I've been on the train. You know, if you miss Devonta Smith in the first round, Chris Olave, you get 90% of him. And
well, now you get zero because
he's like, who's that? Let's not do the show before the show. I got some questions, but I guess I'll hold those for during Takes.
Well, I just want to let everybody gather in. You know, it's we only started a couple minutes ago. I want to get everybody.
What up, Dickie?
Campfire. By the way, everybody, update to the background today. Okay, so maybe we won't get.
Yeah, here's your update. It still sucks.
I probably have the worst background now because I'm not moved in.
Hey, Kyle, to show you what kind of mood I'm in, can you very quickly go to the Draft Network YouTube page and look at the most recent Takes on Takes that we did, and look at the only comment that's up at the top?
You want me to do that right now?
I'd like you to, because I think it's a good pre-show moment for us. Don't read it out loud; just read it to yourself, and everyone who's listening can do it too, just to see.
All right, so go to youtube.com, the Draft Network,
which is basically where you probably are if you're watching this anyway. But
so not Takes on Takes 125, but the one
124, which is the most recent one that we've done.
Okay. And the comment at the top.
Yeah, you'll see it. It's just.
Oh yeah.
I'm haunted by it.
That dude at the bottom, whatever his name is, his Deshaun Watson take is so bad.
Hell of a brand you have there, Chris.
But it's a misconstrued brand. Like, it's so misconstrued. I don't want to be known as this guy. I want to be known as the guy who likes to have intellectual, conversations about football. Like,
Jason wants to know why there was no Locked On Bills today, Joe. What the hell are you doing?
there was a Locked On Bills on Sunday that served as the Monday podcast. Yeah.
I like
that on there.
Hey, Chris, I like Vontel's take at 7:34 when we start the show. I think that's a great place to start.
Okay. Well, then, you know what? Then why don't we start, gentlemen?
Why don't we just start? Yeah, let's just start.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes here on the Draft Dudes podcast, presented by Locked On. It's Joe Marino, Kyle Krabs, and Chris Schubert from the Draft Network. And we are your hosts here on this live Takes on Takes edition of the show. Good evening, gentlemen.
What's up, Joe?
So I'm sitting here trying
to. Does Kyle have control of the board now?
I'm trying to produce the show, and things are popping up, and I'm like, is it something I'm doing on my other screen? No, it's
Kyle's YouTube account.
Sebastian shouts, man. What's up, Joe? Welcome back. Live stream. We missed you on Thursday.
Did you really?
Yeah, dude, we did. Well, no, what? Come on, we missed him.
No.
All right. Never mind then, Joe.
Those answers went exactly how I thought they would go. Chris, absolutely. Joe sucked. I had Chris, Kyle. Yeah, thank God I finally got to do a damn show without you in the way.
Yeah, just talk over Chris the whole time.
Right, a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
That's basically how it went. All right. Well, listen, you just want to get right into it? There was a lot of takes in the pre-show that we were excited about, so we can just jump right in if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. First, you wanted Vontel's take right off the jump. Here it is for you. Take Amon-Ra St. Brown will be the steal of the draft.
Joe, obviously we were talking in the pre-show. Amon-Ra St. Brown being a wide receiver who was kind of in this tier, what do we want to call it, tier 2.5 of wide receiver prospects. It's like you got your perceived top three of Chase, Waddle, and Devonta Smith, and then you got your next tier down with your Rashad Batemans and Terrence Marshalls. And I don't think Amon-Ra St. Brown is quite perceived in that same tier. But I think he's going to be the big winner of Chris Olave's decision to go back to school. So I don't know how much of a steal he's really going to be anymore, because you almost have this kind of vacuum and void here late round one, early round two, that I think Amon-Ra St. Brown has the chance to get pushed up into.
My favorite sleeper steal wide receiver, De'Ami Brown from North Carolina.
It's the wrong target.
I think if you were oh, brother, I would have agreed with you in the summer, but then 2020 happened, and I really started to fall in love with De'Ami Brown. I think he's a top 10 receiver in this class, and I think if you were thinking about Chris Olave on day two, I'd start thinking about De'Ami Brown.
All right, you mentioned Chris Olave, gentlemen. So why don't we get into this take from William? Chris Olave goes top 15 next year after returning for one more year at Ohio State.
This might be a hot take, but I don't really know what else Chris Olave has to prove at the college level, personally. What do you got to go out and win a Heisman Trophy or a Biletnikoff? Like, he's super polished. I don't really know how many more dynamics he's going to add to his game. So if you feel like he's going to go top 15 next year, you probably feel like either he's just a victim of a deep wide receiver class, or he was going to go top 15 this year.
What was that, Joe? You just like
that wasn't the commentary.
Yeah, I thought we were okay. The truth there is, as we know, I'm running off a hotspot on my cell phone. So if anything happened where there was a new take introduced, I didn't see it. So I was thinking that was a continuation of the Chris Olave discussion we were having. The play that I went with there was, you know what I mean?
Smart. Now, anytime this happens again, just
I now know what the signal means. We didn't have this discussion in the pre-show. Now I know that means please put up a new take for me. Got it. Okay. All right. Very good, Joe. Very good. As you get settled into the new place. All right. This take from Brian. The next best option for the Cincinnati Bengals if Penei Sewell is off the board is Kyle Pitts.
Ooh. Oh, okay. So we're going to throw out the idea that trading back would be an option.
You can, if you want that to be an option, Joe. It's
because I think that's where I would want to go. I recognize that Kyle Pitts would be wonderful for that offense, and I think continuing to invest in surrounding Joe Burrow is a good idea. But I think if it's not Penei Sewell, or maybe even if it is Penei Sewell, I'm trading back.
There's the mighty swell
has been put to the side for a moment.
It's going to be complemented with something else a little stiffer for this hot take.
Is this the real life imitation of the shot chaser meme? Is that what that was right there?
I don't know what that meme is, to be honest with you.
Somebody says something and then it's referred to. Never mind. All right, I'll explain it to you after the show.
Thanks. You can explain it to me when I'm older. I have a really hard time buying tight end, and I get it's Kyle Pitts, and he's a really dynamic receiver, but I'm selling that. You need to protect Joe Burrow. And trade down option, I don't know, Ben Solak put Rashawn Slater ahead of Penei Sewell in his mock draft. And his point of emphasis was Daniel Jeremiah, who's really plugged in, has Slater as O-lineman 1. Lance Zierlein, who's really plugged in, has him as O-lineman 1, and Matt Miller, who's really plugged in, is also buying on the Rashawn Slater hype. Casey wants me to pass it this way. Here you go, bud. So no, I'm not buying tight end Kyle Pitts at 5 as the second best option for the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right, so I have one I want to put up that's not draft related, but I was extremely intrigued by it, and I'm trying to scroll to find it very quickly because this is one of those we have to do math on the show takes, which is one of my favorite kinds of takes. This one comes from Kyle the Commish. There will be 5 new playoff teams in the NFC in 2021. So this is Draft Dudes Do Math here live on a Monday live stream, takes on a Tuesday.
So who are the 2 that return?
Wait, Joe, go ahead. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
I think the best way to approach this is look at the field of 8 teams and feel like if we can come up with 5 that will not be back.
8
or 7. Jeez,
I wish 8 teams made the playoffs, Joseph.
You know, like that was a Freudian slip based on our conversation. Listen, there was no malice intent there, but that it was a slip based on our conversation.
Fun fact: the Miami Dolphins of 2020, the only AFC team in the wild card era to finish as the 8th seed in the conference with 10 wins. Fun fact.
We showed off our math skills right away. All right, let's take the 7 teams, Joseph, the 7 teams that are in the NFC and figure out which ones are going to be replaced.
Washington.
That's a good one to start with.
There's one.
New Orleans.
I'm ready to buy on that one.
New Orleans is 2.
Chicago
is 3.
Hey.
All right, so we've opened up 3 spots. We have to find 2 more. The Bucs are probably in the playoffs next year. The Rams.
The Rams.
There are 2 teams in their division that I think could be better than them next year.
I think San Francisco can bounce back.
And the Cardinals were 1 win away from taking the Rams spot anyway. They were once. I don't know. I agree with you.
Out of there. I'm willing to give you the Rams, but it'll be San Francisco.
So we're at 4.
We're at 4, and I don't think you're convincing me that we're taking Tampa, Seattle, or Green Bay out.
No, I'm not, because Russ Wilson wakes up and he's in the playoffs. I mean, what is Matt LaFleur? 13-3 back-to-back years?
Yeah, it's 26-6, and
if Brady's back, Tampa's back. So I think 4 is achievable. Five's not happening.
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting the 5th one from.
It's between Green Bay.
Unless
Seattle,
you just think Tom Brady is falling off of a cliff next year, which there's no sign of that even remotely happening.
I stopped believing that about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You know? So,
yeah. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Chris.
Do you want to have some fun on the show?
Absolutely.
Okay. Sebastian says Deshaun Watson will be the starting quarterback for an AFC East team next year.
It's true.
I think it's true as well.
That's true.
I think it's your team.
He's not going to be the starting
I think it's your team too, though. But
the Houston Texans.
He is certainly not playing for the
He gone.
So how do you balance so Deshaun has a no trade clause. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Jets and Dolphins have the most to give him. Conventional wisdom tells us he's going to one of those 2 teams. How concerned are you as potential suitors for Deshaun Watson that they are not going to want to trade him in the AFC? Will they take a lesser deal from an NFC team to keep him out of the conference?
They're the kind of poorly run organization that would be willing to do that.
But wait a minute. There's an important part here. Deshaun can tell them no thanks, but no thanks, right? If he wants to go to one of the 2 teams in our example here, and he doesn't want to go to an NFC team, what leverage does Nick Caserio have here?
I'm sure he's got a short list, though.
He does. He probably does. I got a tweet today in which I posted the lovely graphic that was made by the TDN graphic department of Deshaun in a Jets jersey, and I posted it to my Twitter account. And somebody responded to me, and I'm not going to name them by name, but know that they're on blast when I say this. They said they're not going to trade Deshaun within the division, and I almost responded with, "You may want to go check the standings. You just may want to check real quick." So listen, you want to come at me with your takes? I'm coming back.
Yeah, I saw that the other day too. Somebody was like, "There's a 0% chance he's traded to Miami because they're not going to trade him in the division." And I just wanted to screenshot.
You'd like to use another word there. Yeah, there's another word you would like to use there. All right, Vontel, we'll go with this one because I like this one. No running backs will be drafted.
Stop marginalizing running backs. It's happening.
Even I'm in on that. I think you get 2 in the top 40. Give me 2.
Could you get 3?
No,
I think 2.
Well,
so the 2 Etienne and Harris are the 2 we're considering locks, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. So that's infinity more than none.
Right, but Javonte Williams?
The only way this happens is if there's a run and like Pittsburgh takes Najee Harris and somebody the Jets or Arizona, Vontel, take Etienne, and Miami's on the board at 36 and they want to take a running back. because they did this last year where they didn't force the pick and then they get to 56 and J.K. Dobbins goes like the pick before them.
Yeah.
And like Cam Akers was already gone and Jonathan Taylor was already gone and DeAndre Swift was already gone. So like that's, I think, the only way, but I'd still be surprised to see that materialize because I don't think Pittsburgh's going to take a running back in the first round.
I have a take based off of this one.
Oh, good.
Of this.
The AFC East will draft 2 running backs in the top 50.
You taking a running back, Kyle?
They'll take one top 50 because they got 4 picks in the top 50.
They just have 3 picks in the top 35. I think one of them is a running back. So I think the answer to this question is yes, Joe.
And I think the Bills, you have to think about the Bills as a potential running back spot too.
I was just getting ready to say that based off of watching their last game, their running game is so blah right now.
It's not even a thought. It's not even like it's such
like don't even bother running the ball, right? Like how many first half runs did they have? 4?
I think 2. But so, like called runs, yeah, I think it was like 2. I think that's what it comes down to. Is it's like, what's the Bills had to score 501 points, number 1 scoring offense in the AFC. What's the low hanging fruit to improve the offense? It's bolstering the run game.
Same thing Kansas City did last year.
Yeah. I think I'm already getting myself psychologically ready for Travis Etienne to be the Bills' first round pick.
How's the Mafia going to handle that?
I don't know. I think they'll be favorable because it's such low hanging fruit. Like it's this rushing attack is not really working, and I think it's because they have slow footed running backs that those holes go away very quickly, and it's just like a passing offense, right? Think about the Drew Brees passing offense, right? They had to bring in like backup quarterbacks to throw the ball down the field, and when you could play everything within a shallow 10-yard box, it's easy to defend. That's the same situation when you have slow running backs like Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. There's no perimeter threat. You're just not spacing it out very well, and so I think they need some foot fire in that backfield.
Can I make a movie analogy that neither one of you may get?
Please.
Yeah,
I'd love nothing more.
So we all watched all the divisional games over the course of the weekend, and I'm watching the final one between Tampa Bay and New Orleans, and I'm watching Drew Brees play quarterback for the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, that's what he was doing?
You guys ever see the movie The Wrestler?
I've not, no.
With Mickey Rourke?
No.
It's like he's like some over the hill, 50-something, still trying to relive his former glory in the ring. And it's like I'm watching Drew Brees, and I'm like, man, just like, you don't have it anymore. And it's such an unfortunate way for him to go out because that roster in a lot of ways could have done damage. But that passing offense was just punchless with Drew Brees at the helm.
I'm going to take us down a rabbit hole that I think the live chat's going to love. Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler, who plays Drew Brees in a movie about Drew Brees being over the hill as a quarterback.
Wow.
Kevin Costner.
No, he's in Draft Day. You don't be doing things like that. You can't. Come on.
Liam Johnson knows what I'm talking about. Randy the Ram is the name of the Mickey Rourke's character in The Wrestler.
Mark Wahlberg.
Isn't he? Wait, he's in. What is that movie called?
Invincible. Vince Papale.
So it has to. So Chris is automatically going to say it can't be somebody who's played a football character in any movie ever.
Got to be original here, guys.
Oh man.
Well, I named every actor I know, so
you named? Didn't you just what?
I'm kidding. I know more actors than that. I don't know. Those are the 2 that came to mind.
So we're looking for an actor to play Drew Brees.
This is a good one. Ben Affleck.
He doesn't have to be some like physical resemblance. Like there's none with Ben Affleck.
Correct.
Bruce Willis. There's your answer. Bruce freaking Willis. Never did a football movie.
He's too far gone.
Yeah, this didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, so we're just gonna move on here and pretend that I didn't even try to have some fun here on the show. All right, this take from Liam. Josh McDaniels will get the Eagles job and win the East in his first year. Joe, do you have the poop hat for me?
Do you think I have? It's somewhere in the house in a box. I don't know where.
Okay. Can I borrow the intellectual property to the poop hat for this take?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
Do I have any poop hat equivalent soundboard bites?
Do we have any? I mean, we have this.
Baba Booey.
I don't know if that's
Isolated, that was awesome. Can we get that one more time? I need to get it.
Absolutely.
Baba Booey.
I mean, I don't know if you want that to be a substitute for it, but that is on the soundboard.
Sure. Let's use that as we bounce it out of the queue here.
The roster, right? It's not that Josh McDaniels can't coach a team to a division championship. I think he can, right? This roster has to undergo so much.
And
they're going to have to subtract a lot.
From a cap perspective, talent retention perspective, office politics perspective, I don't like the vibe of Philly going into next year.
Yeah.
Chris, can I ask Joe a question non-related to a take in the queue?
You can do whatever you'd like, but I do want to say that I think we found the answer, by the way. Somebody brought it up.
An actor?
Edward Norton.
Never
can we put some – yes, you have.
Who is he?
Have you ever seen the movie Rounders, Joe?
No.
How about the second version of The Incredible Hulk?
He is in that as well.
Not the Eric Bana version.
I saw the first one. Don't know who's in it.
Have you seen Fight Club?
Yeah,
when seen Fight Club
20 years ago when it first came out.
Yeah, so he's the other main actor opposite Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
If you put 10 people in front of me and said one of them was Edward Norton, I get it wrong.
You know what? That's a good concept for the offseason. Hold on to that for me, Joe.
Joe, who's your favorite sleeper prospect that you've evaluated thus far in your final write-ups?
Man, that's a good question. I like a lot of players. I'll just go with the guy that I don't think I've heard anybody talk about, and that is Patrick Johnson, an edge defender from Tulane. I think he's a ready-made 34 outside linebacker. If you're one of those hybrid front teams, you'd love to get a player like this. He plays all over the front seven for Tulane, and I think he's got a lot of tools, man. I think he's underrated.
That's a good answer. I like that answer.
Well, Kyle, can I ask you the same question?
I was hoping somebody would.
Yeah, well, Joe didn't jump in, so I figured I'll do it.
I got a name for you. You ready? Josh Imatorbhebhe, wide receiver from Illinois.
Bunnies.
He's got the bunnies. Chris, this dude jumped 47 inches in the vert.
Is that good?
That's like levitating. Absolutely levitating. And he's a USC transfer to Illinois. And physically speaking down the field, like really good at the catch point. He's a really good kind of press you vertical receiver. He'll get on top of your toes. He'll force you to flip your hips open. And he doesn't have like the sharpest breaks, but he forces you to respect him vertically to the degree in which you can really work underneath and target him underneath, back shoulder throws, that kind of stuff. He's like 6'2", 215, 220. Also like Greg Newsome, the second who Jordan Reed tipped us off.
I saw you had a good grade on him. I peeped your grades there,
Kyle. So his problem is durability. Is he had to play a complete season at the college level, but he's really long, like really long, and he's really fluid. So you think about kind of those Robert Saleh corners, the Seattle Gus Bradley corners. He's kind of cut from that cloth. And if you get him healthy, he's an impressive dude.
Just a shout out to the live audience. Some of these takes are just absolutely unbelievable. I'm gonna bring us to the movie area one more time, okay? Just once more.
Is it Vontel's greatest football movie?
Vontel's take because this is wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. I'll put it up here. Vontel says hot take Gridiron Gang is the best football movie of all time. There's only one answer here, I think, in my opinion, but I'll let you
go. You should go first because you said that.
It's Remember the Titans, and it's not even close.
No.
Ooh. What's Kyle's answer?
Mine's an unpopular take.
Is it The Program?
No, but you could flip a coin.
Is it Draft Day? It better not be Draft Day.
It's not Draft Day. You can flip a coin. It's either The Replacements or Any Given Sunday.
No love for Little Giants here?
No, I got
no.
Joe.
About 5.
Joe, I got it.
Baba Booey.
I like Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans is a top 3 movie.
It came out my senior year in high school, and like our football team went and watched it before the season. And I think just that memory sticks with me. And then we actually had a good year. We were the number 1 seed in the playoffs and did this really amazing thing called losing the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, that was really, really cool. But we watched Remember the Titans to start the year.
Any take jump out to you guys, or can I throw one up here?
Throw one up here.
Okay, this one from Andrew. The perfect spot for Trey Lance is to be taken at 7 and sit behind Stafford for a year, who will then be traded in the 2022 offseason.
Why is that better than Atlanta? That's my question. You have Arthur Smith in Atlanta and Matt Ryan with, I think, far better infrastructure around him in terms of the offense. So I think it's Atlanta. I'm out.
I don't know. Like, you think about what Trey Lance does well, and I think there's a bigger leap to putting him into back to the defense play action passing. Personally, I think Dan Campbell's offense will probably be a little bit more smash mouth and run the ball between the tackles and own the line of scrimmage. And you think about the quarterback run concepts that Trey Lance did at North Dakota State, and I can get on board with that.
I'd also add like personnel matters here too. Like, who would he throw the ball to in Detroit compared to Atlanta?
Well, they've got some choices to make here that will help us know the answer to that, because they're all free agents except for Quintez Cephas.
Right, where that you don't have that situation in Atlanta. Like, technically, Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones are under contract. Although I'd be surprised if Julio's back next year.
Julio gone.
Yeah, I think he
Russell
is.
Gage is okay and offensive.
You know what pisses me off about Russell Gage?
What's that?
I remember watching him at LSU, and I was like, dude, this is a fun little player. And then I never got around to writing a draft profile on him. And then lo and behold, like, he becomes like this really nifty special teams ace wide receiver 3 for Atlanta. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, you ever have those players where you see them throughout the course of the season and you kind of like make a little mental note, but then because in the past, each one of us has been responsible for writing 300 scouting reports and there's only so much time in the day, you don't get back to them. And then they get to the league and it's like, well, shit, you can play. I knew you could play.
I've had those. Nothing stands out, but when it does, I will let you know.
All right, this Sam take's going up. Trent Williams, not Dak Prescott, is the most valuable free agent this offseason.
I feel like I need some more information from him on that. Like, because I don't even see how that's a realistic, like, intellectually honest line of thinking. Like, there's got to be more to that I'm not being aware of.
So Trent is older.
Plays a less important position.
Less valuable position. And like, how many offensive linemen in this year's draft class? How many offensive tackles in this year's draft class do you feel comfortable starting, like day one? It's probably 5 or more, right?
It's usually about the number, yeah.
How many quarterbacks do you feel comfortable starting day one?
Maybe 1.
So I'm going to disagree with Sam.
From the perspective of, like, Trent Williams could be signed by a particular team and provide a much-needed answer at left tackle, and that would be huge, where maybe there's some holes. If he goes back, Dak goes back to Dallas, there's some holes on that roster where, he alone isn't getting the difference. But so, I mean, that's why I was wondering if there's more context there, but I guess not.
Kyle, what are you doing over there?
Sansa,
oh yeah, I know.
What? It's my worst one tonight.
Listen, you whatever.
Don't put it into the space,
right? No, if you don't want it up for interpretation, don't put it out there. My goodness.
Oh, put this one up from Tyler because I have more questions about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This one from Tyler. What is that?
The one at 8 o'clock from Tyler Weber. So I'm not interested in getting into what Tyler actually asked, but
and then I won't read it. Then
did you hear what Chase Claypool's excuse was for how he acted in the in the aftermath of the playoff game? Did you hear what he had to say?
Can I answer your question with a question?
Yes.
Do I want to hear what Chase Claypool's excuse was? I do.
Yes.
Okay.
Joe, did you hear what he had to say? After he said what he said about the Browns are going to get clapped next week.
I mean, I heard that. I don't know the rest of it.
Right. Well, he said it was because he thought the Browns were a little too disrespectful and needed to be more classy in winning in the wild card weekend. And because they weren't classy, it rubbed him the wrong way. And that's why he had so much to say after the loss.
I don't think that the Browns got clapped either. It was 22 to 17.
Yeah, it's a 5-point loss.
And they had
and if they hadn't punted,
right, the punt was terrible, the fumble was terrible.
Yeah. Kevin Stefanski lost Coach of the Year with the decision to punt the ball back to Kansas City in the fourth quarter.
The voting's done, right? They do that between
I think so.
So
I mean, in fairness, he made some fourth down calls earlier in the fourth quarter that I thought were pretty ballsy.
He did. So imagine making all those calls just to get there with the chips down and actually turtle when it all actually matters at the end of the game.
And he wasted a timeout on a challenge because he missed one earlier, and I think he got a little happy with I got to make sure I get this one. It was not a very well executed coaching game plan down the stretch there.
You have to ask yourself, is it more likely for me to convert fourth and 6 or something?
Yeah, with 4 minutes left and you're down 5.
You have a better chance of doing that or punting the football, stopping the Chiefs, getting the ball back, and scoring.
And here's the thing. If you go for it and you don't get it, you can still force them to kick a field goal and it's still a one-score game.
Well, and that was the logic behind what he did earlier, right? He was on his own, 35, and he went for it because it was Chad Henne on the other side, and he wasn't turning that into 6, and so he went for it. So
you did it all to get there at the end of the game, and you're like, all right, now we're going to play field position game. It's like, no.
So I want to defend Kevin Stefanski here because Sam says that challenge was so bad. It's not when you consider the fact that he had missed one earlier that he should have challenged that he didn't. So when that one happened, I think it was right on that sideline. He felt like I can't miss another one. So he threw the challenge flag too quickly. I can't fault him for that spot because he missed one earlier.
But was Kansas City even going fast?
They rushed up to the line, I think, in a way to kind of maybe bait him into doing it. And he did because he threw it right away. Because you actually saw it. The flag was actually on the field. The red challenge flag was on the field before even they were lined up ready to go. He threw it almost immediately. But yeah, not great coaching down the stretch in that game. All right, this one from Pat. Elijah Moore's a top 8 wide receiver in this year's draft.
This is a really good wide receiver class.
Draft dudes do math.
This is a really good wide receiver class. I'm not ready to say he's top 8. He's exciting. He's an exciting football player. But top 8, not ready. Not ready to go there.
All right, gentlemen.
Fontel's calling you out. Fontel's calling him out. Put it up there, Chris.
All right. Vontel says, real quick, I just want to know why Joe isn't the biggest J.C. Horn fan. Really curious.
I think he's
suspicious.
I think he's
that's weird.
A top 2 round pick. I mean, I wouldn't want him in the top 20.
Is there a scheme specific fit that you could get behind in the top 20?
Yeah, I think he's good press man corner. I wish he tackled better. I don't think his ball skills showed up outside of one game. I don't know. I think I want my corners to be more physical and have better ball skills. Sorry. I might like Ifeatu Melifonwu better than J.C. Horn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a spicy take.
I said might, so I got an out there.
Yeah, you left yourself a wiggle room.
You gave yourself the way to exit there later on. All right, gentlemen, I'm scrolling for one more. Would you like a college take or a pro take to end the show here?
We want the best take.
We want the best take you can lay your eyes on.
Great. That's putting a lot of pressure on me to scroll here while also.
Joe is salty that his high school team lost in the first one.
That one was from a little while. I almost put that up, but no, I decided not to continue to troll you. Man, there's some good ones in here. All right, let's go with this one because I thought this one was interesting because I think now that some teams are out, we can kind of get a better understanding of what kind of free agent moves and trades might be made. With so many teams in the back half of the first round having a question mark at quarterback for the 2021 season, the Washington football team, Chicago, Indy, Pitt, New Orleans, Sam Darnold could garner a first-round pick from a quarterback-needy team. And I'm not putting this up just because it's Sam Darnold. I'm putting this up because I think the quarterback market this offseason is fascinating in a lot of different ways, and it doesn't just start and end with Deshaun Watson.
So here's the thing. Go ahead, Joe.
I want you to go first. Go ahead.
In a year in which they just announced that the combine as we know it is going to cease to exist. And you're going to have the Senior Bowl, and it's going to be the only draft event this year in which the entire league is going to be able to congregate and get to know prospects. I think there's going to be a lot of uncertainty and a lot of apprehension from a lot of teams to make big investments in unknown commodities, which boosts the value of quarterbacks who are already in the league. But here's the problem. You don't know what Sam Darnold is because he has not put together a body of work that gives you any confidence that in a contract year, he's worth surrendering a first-round pick because he is so all over the board. He's up and he's down. And is it Adam Gase? Is it him? Has there been too much damage done to Sam Darnold's psyche that he's not going to be able to bounce back from? I think there's too many questions and too many other quarterbacks, veteran and rookies, that are going to be available that would prevent a team from being willing to spend a first-round pick on Sam Darnold.
Kyle, you and I do this sometimes, and I'm wondering if you think it applies here for maybe some of the logic that the teams that were listed here could subscribe to, and that's that we go back to our pre-draft assessment. And if you go back to pre-draft assessments on Sam Darnold, I'm not saying mine or yours, but in general, people thought he could be the number 1 pick in the draft, right? He was the number 3 pick in the draft. How much consideration do those teams give to that idea and couple that with what Sam went through with the Jets and say, yeah, I'll give up pick 24 for a chance at this guy? I do think there's a reasonably probable chance that the Jets get a first-round pick for Sam Darnold.
A reasonably probable chance.
It's reasonably likely.
Okay.
I know you're going to give your report. You didn't have a 1 on him. Neither did I. I know what you're doing. Okay. I've seen you do this for the last 5 years of my life.
Can you see there, Sam Darnold? What's the prospect rank number there?
46.
46.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Cool.
Seen those reports before.
I am going to refer back to my scouting report on Sam Darnold before the 2018 NFL draft, and I'm going to say hard pass because
I'm not asking you if you're going to, but are these teams going to?
They might.
Chris Ballard and Ryan Pace, are they? You don't think they have him as a top 10 pick or something? I mean,
it's interesting because we always talk about the divide between grading in a vacuum and if you need a quarterback.
Right.
That's like I go back to Jared Goff and Carson Wentz too. Did anybody, you look at that class with some of the players that were in there, the Jalen Ramseys of the world and Nick Bosa or Joey Bosa's of the world, going in, did anybody genuinely think that Jared Goff and Carson Wentz were the 2 most talented players in that draft class?
No, there's no chance.
No, but they went there because of the need. I think you remove that when you are proposing making a trade for a prospect. So I don't think there is the same tendency to overinvest or overpay. But that's just my perspective on
it. It's going to be fascinating.
I stopped myself short of offering you a bet on this because I think there is a reasonable chance that they get a 2.
Set an over-under on the pick.
That's hard for me because, okay, I'll say that they get a top 50 pick for Sam Darnold. You taking the over or under?
Can you make it 45? I mean, you get get all the non-playoff teams.
If they don't trade him,
it's no.
It's no. Yeah, it's like a push.
Yeah, but if he gets traded, I'm betting I'll take the over on 45.5.
I'll take the under. So I have 45, 1 to 45, and box of Built Bars.
Box of Built Bars, and I mean it this time. I'm not going to buy a shirt this time.
I like the shirt. I was happy with the shirt.
Joe, that's the second bet you've made since I've joined on as producer.
We do bets. Yeah, Chris, it's a thing. Kyle and I had one between Washington and the Giants on which one was going to have the most wins this year. Kyle got the dub there.
Finally.
Last year, was it it was a Philly and Dallas versus like
Kansas City and the Chargers, I think.
Who would have the most wins combined?
Yeah. And we tied that one.
we have a handful every year. This year was actually pretty light on bets. Like 2 years ago, we went nuts.
Yeah, there was because we had college football bets, we had NFL draft bets, so maybe we'll get some off-season bets going. I like this Sam Darnold one.
So the active bets right now, active draft dudes bets, is that within the next 5 years, the Houston Texans will finish in the top 2 of the AFC South.
That's you, buddy. That's your side. My side's looking very good right now.
I don't like the way things have been going lately, but 5 years is a long time in the NFL.
It's a long time.
Right. I mean, come on. And then Kyle and I, if the Jets trade Sam Darnold, I have him them receiving a pick back that's 45 or higher in the draft. Okay.
There you have it. We're all done here. Unless anybody has any other thoughts?
No. We're good.
All right. Draft Dudes live streams brought to you by our friends at Mighty Swell. Another live edition of Takes on Takes in the book. Kyle Krabs, Joe Marino, Chris Schubert. Thanks as always for watching. If you're listening in the podcast feed, make sure you hit subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe on the YouTube channel and then go hit subscribe on the podcast.